Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're excited to explore India, size and location. This is our very first slide, so I'd like to set the stage for what's ahead. We'll be looking at India's vast size and strategic position in the world. Over the course of this presentation, we'll uncover key facts and insights about India's geography, its significance, and its place on the global map. Let's get started. Let's take a look at the contents of this presentation. We will cover several interesting aspects about India. First, we'll start with an introduction to set the stage. Then, we'll explore the specific location of India on the map, which is fundamental to understanding its geographical context. Next, we'll look at the state through which the Tropic of Cancer passes, an important geographical marker that influences India's climate and seasons. After that, we'll discuss India's neighbors, giving us a sense of its regional relationships and connections. Following that, we'll see how India fits into the global picture, understanding its role and influence worldwide. And finally, we'll have a fun section called Do You Know? To highlight some interesting facts that might surprise you. Remember, as we go through these points, the overall theme is to understand India's geographical and regional significance, so keep that in mind as we move forward. India is one of the largest countries in the world, and it has a rich history of contributing significantly to the making of the world as we know it today. Throughout history, India has been known by many names, such as Aryavrata, Jambudweep, Bharat, Hindustan, and of course, India itself. These names reflect its diverse cultural and historical identity. India is a land of incredible natural diversity. You can find towering mountains, mighty rivers that sustain life, expansive plains, lush forests, wide plateaus, and beautiful hills. It's also home to stunning waterfalls and refreshing shores that attract many visitors. Because of this diverse geography, we see a wide variety of climates, vegetation, and wildlife across different regions. People's ways of living also vary greatly, shaped by the environment they inhabit. All these aspects highlight the natural and cultural richness of India, which ties into our overall understanding of the country's unique identity and its importance in world history. India is located in southern Asia, bordered by the Arabian Sea to the west and the Bay of Bengal to the east. It lies between Myanmar to the east and Pakistan to the northwest. In terms of size, India covers a total area of about 3,287,263 square kilometers. Of this, roughly 2.97 million square kilometers is land, and around 314,400 square kilometers is water. To give you a sense of scale, India is a bit more than one-third the size of the United States, making it a truly vast country. The mainland stretches between approximately 8 degrees 4 minutes north and 37 degrees 6 minutes north, and from 68 degrees 7 minutes east to 97 degrees 25 minutes east. The Tropic of Cancer, at 23 degrees 30 minutes north, runs across the country and effectively divides it into two nearly equal halves. Additionally, beyond the mainland, India has some beautiful island territories. To the southeast, there are the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, and to the southwest, the Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea. These islands are an important part of India's geography and cultural identity, connecting the mainland to the broader Indian Ocean region. All these geographic features help us understand India's strategic location and diverse landscape, which are key to its history, culture, and development. India's landmass covers about 3.28 million square kilometers, making it a significant part of the world's geography. In fact, our country's total area accounts for roughly 2.4% of the entire world's land. When we look at our boundaries, India has a land border of approximately 15,200 kilometers, which is quite extensive. Add to that the total length of our mainland coastline, including the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep, is around 7,516.6 kilometers. Now, if we examine the extent of our mainland from east to west and north to south, you'll notice that the latitudinal and longitudinal spans are about 30 degrees. Interestingly, the east-west extent is actually smaller than the north-south extent. This difference becomes quite noticeable when you consider the time zones. For example, there's a 2-hour time difference between Gujarat in the west and Arunachal Pradesh in the east. To manage this, India uses a single standard time based on the 82 degrees 30 east longitude, which passes through Gopiganj in Uttar Pradesh. This is the standard meridian for our country, and it helps us maintain a uniform time across the entire nation, despite the vast longitudinal spread. So all these geographical features, our area, boundaries, coastline, and time zone, are fundamental in understanding India's physical identity and how we organize our daily life and governance around these natural boundaries. Let's talk about India and its connection to the world. The Indian landmass is strategically located right in the center between East and West Asia, making it a vital link in global interactions. This central position is especially significant because of the trans-Indian ocean routes, which connect India to European countries in the west and to East Asian nations in the east. This geographical advantage has historically made India a key player in international trade and cultural exchange. While India has maintained contacts with the world through maritime routes for many centuries, her land routes are actually much older. The mountain passes in the north have served as gateways for ancient travelers, allowing movement across the rugged terrain. In contrast, the oceans initially limited interaction, but over time, sea routes became crucial for connecting India with the rest of the world. These routes facilitated the exchange of ideas, cultures, and commodities since ancient times. For example, spices, muslin, and other goods were transported from India to various countries, spreading Indian culture and products far and wide. This historical connectivity underscores India's long-standing role as a bridge between different regions, aligning with the broader theme of our presentation on India's global importance. India occupies a very important strategic position in South Asia, which makes it a key player in the region. It's a large country with 28 states and 8 union territories, giving it a diverse and vibrant internal structure. When we look at its borders, India shares land boundaries with several countries. To the northwest, there are Pakistan and Afghanistan, which have historically been significant in regional politics. Moving northward, India borders China, Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan, all of which are crucial neighbors with whom India maintains complex relationships. To the east, it shares borders with Myanmar and Bangladesh, further emphasizing its central role in South Asia. Now, looking across the seas, India's southern neighbors are 2 island nations, Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Sri Lanka is separated from India by the narrow Palk Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, which are quite close, making cultural and economic exchanges easier. The Maldives, on the other hand, are located further south of the Lakshadweep Islands, and are known for their beautiful atolls and tourism industry. All these neighboring countries are connected to India, not just geographically, but also through shared history, culture, and regional security concerns. Understanding these neighboring relationships helps us see how India fits into the broader regional picture and why its strategic position is so vital for stability and cooperation in South Asia. Did you know that the southernmost point of the Indian Union, called Indira Point, actually got submerged under seawater back in 2004 during the devastating tsunami? It's a powerful reminder of how natural disasters can impact even our most remote borders. And here's another interesting fact. Since the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, India's distance from Europe has been cut down by about 7,000 kilometers. That's a huge reduction, which really highlights how global connectivity has evolved over time and how infrastructure projects can reshape our world. Now, before India gained independence in 1947, our country was a patchwork of different types of states. There were 2 main categories: provinces and princely states. Provinces were directly governed by British officials appointed by the viceroy, which meant they were under direct colonial control. On the other hand, princely states were ruled by local hereditary rulers, kings, princes, or chieftains, who acknowledged British sovereignty but retained a lot of local autonomy. Connecting these points to our overall theme, they show how India's geography and political landscape have evolved, sometimes dramatically, shaping the diverse and complex nation we see today.